Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 16 of Fill Your Cup at the Support Together podcast. I am very privileged here today to have Mrs. Una Mary on my right.
Hiya.
And a very special guest, that is Caitlin Mary Leonard on my left. You're very welcome, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Really, a couple of introductions. Caitlin is Una's daughter.
She is indeed.
And the reason Ciara started, I suppose.
Yeah.
Caitlin, have you anything big happening this week?
No.
No big birthdays or nothing? No.
4th of May is an important day for people who like Star Wars.
Caitlin turns 18 on Saturday, and this is Maternal Mental Health Week. So we thought, what better than to bring the founder's daughter in for a wee chat.
Co-founder's
daughter, the wee chat. Sorry, Brenda. And just suppose get the feel of what Sport Together means to yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be very relaxed, Caitlin. Don't be panicking. I don't know where this is going to go, so we're just going to go with the flow, natural conversation, and we can end up arguing. No, please don't.
It was the first one.
But it's the first podcast
That's just
professive being show
that we're fighting.
Yeah. So, Caitlin, on the 4th of May, you will be 18.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember being born? No, too long ago.
Too long ago, right?
Have you anything nice planned for your birthday?
No, I was away with the weekend with my mum and my granny and my auntie, so
That was nice.
that was lovely.
Just take it chill this again.
Take a chill.
So any surprise parties are going to happen to
No.
Oh.
You're coming to my house?
Leonard.
How did you know about that?
Private jets. Yeah. All in. Maternal Mental Health Week, Una, how do you feel?
Well, I suppose every week is our focus. Our focus is on maternal mental health every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it 7 days a week. So yeah, it's Maternal Mental Health Week this week, and the different themes, which is brilliant. And on the socials is raising more awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of amazing charities out there throughout the UK are doing fantastic work. And a lot of people do a lot of work, but not making any noise about it. Because it is a job that you focus on grassroots, and everything you do is about the mummy. As I say, we hold the mummy as she holds the baby. So I suppose, as we always say when people do Mental Health Day, we say we take a rest that day.
Every day is Mental Health Day with us.
Because we are always focusing on maternal, perinatal and people's mental well-being. So no, it's great for the awareness, Steph. And I know when this goes out on Monday, that's the week has gone by. But it's good to bring that awareness on into the social platforms.
The theme, I think, for
welcome
it is Stronger Together.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fitting for us because it's our gathering is this evening, and where the mummies come together and peer to peer, they're definitely stronger together. And this goes for
Support Together. That's where the word came from.
Support. That brings us nicely to the Leonard family and Support Together, where it all started. You gave birth to this beautiful bundle.
I did indeed.
Almost 18 years ago.
This time 18 years ago, I'd have been at home not knowing what was ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
My nose was getting more wider to consume my face. My face kept swelling more. But I hadn't, I was just couldn't wait to welcome this baby into the world. We didn't know if it was going to be a girl or a boy, so we were excited. I had my pram bought and the cot and the nursery planned out, and I was going to breastfeed, so I didn't have a bottle or anything, not even thought of formula. So yeah, I was going to embrace the whole thing, wasn't going to take any much painkillers, but sure took the whole there. Ended up taking all there.
Everything you get.
So yeah, this time 18 years ago, it was just me and Michael.
Did she arrive on time or was she late or early?
She was around the 4th or the 5th of May, where it was around that time that we were expecting. Caitlin and I went into the hospital a day or two before with 2 sets of waters front and back, which I wasn't aware of. So when my waters broke in the middle of the night, we thought, go up to Craigavon and that's that. She's coming. No. Irish day. So later she arrived. A wee yellow baby. Because she was jaundice. With a big head of hair. She was absolutely adorable. Baby girl, and Caitlin Mary is what she was called. And we were in the hospital for a few days. We didn't stay just 1 or 2. Caitlin's jaundice was quite bad. I'm rhesus negative. So I hadn't a clue. I thought it was the worst. I thought something really bad was happening. But she jaundice. And Michael, when he seen her in the colour of her, like, whose wee was this? Because her skin was just absolutely, was beautiful with this big black head of hair. So that's when she arrived into our world.
She never come alone. Somebody else came along with her. Or came quite quickly behind her.
Oh, it. Yeah. I suppose what started with me was anxiety.
Yeah.
I worried about everything. You know, I felt nobody could look after Caitlin only the way I could. I recorded all of when she slept. First and foremost, my challenge with breastfeeding. It was a big challenge for me, and I could breastfeed, but there was a stage it looked like as if she was getting strawberry milk. Yeah. I hadn't her latched on right. I remember ringing me work and going, "Oh, this is so easy. She's really doing well." Me in the hospital, you know. And because she's jaundice too, she needed plenty of fluids. Yeah. But I wasn't latched. She was latched on right, but still was breastfeeding to the best I could. And when we took her home, I think a couple of days in, I realised I couldn't keep
it going.
I couldn't. It wasn't working for me. I tried so hard, and there was, as I say, it wasn't a bottle. I remember saying to Michael, I can't. I'm going to have to get formula, you know. And I felt a bit of a failure. I'm going to be honest. That's where it started being hard on myself, because I wasn't sleeping because I was trying to feed Caitlin, and Granny and Michael. Then the two of them went into Boots or somewhere and had to go and buy the whole shebang. And then I had to assist Dr. Brown's because I was afraid of them being colic. So I was always worrying about the next thing.
Yeah. Work was joining the moment.
No. And I wanted the best for her, and I wanted to make sure she was safe, and I want that. I just was so consumed with Caitlin, with the baby, you know, looking after a baby. Seriously, it'd be much easier if they came out and spoke. Honest to God, so I would give birth to Emmanuel. It would be. It's just a guessing game, and that whole. I suppose Caitlin was our demo.
Yeah,
you know, the first baby, and well, that's I suppose as we end up sending mummies now. But every one has your demo 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. So yeah, that was. She came into the world. I remember that Michael just so intrigued and buying her wee outfits and wee yellow outfits because it was around Easter, and taking her home when we drove, as we talked about before, 30 miles down the motorway. Our precious cargo was coming home, and that first night in the house on her own, and making sure that I just wanted to make sure my baby was surviving, you know. And you're getting obsessed with the feeding because what that can do, you know, if she's not fed right, of course, she's not thriving. So that's how, she entered our world. We were living.
Hearing all that there, Caitlin, how does it make you feel?
I mean, I've never heard that, the whole breakdown of it. Hasn't really spoke about that, but I don't know. It's supposed to be a little bit of happiness. I feel empathy for Mum, because like obviously that would be, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
like she was so loved.
Yeah,
but to the detriment of your own health.
I didn't enjoy it.
Oh, I totally get that.
Caitlin was so wanted. This baby was so wanted now, and then it ended up being a girl, and we ended up naming it, and it's become this wonderful girl in front of me. And it's not that we've never talked about the birth or anything. I've probably told Caitlin bits and pieces over the years and stuff. But that was so wanted. But like you open this door to a different world, you know, when the baby's in your belly and it's growing and you're making sure, I mean, I ate the best fruit and veg. I had that much apples. I couldn't even put an apple in my mouth now. The noise of it would really get to me. You know, providing for this baby. And then the baby was born and it happened to be a girl, and then her name was Caitlin. 6 pounds something. And now, yeah, as you say, I was consumed. Anxiety came to me first, and it wore me down that much. I then became depressed, with postnatal depression, but that wasn't Caitlin's fault. Yeah. It was the expectations I put on myself, and how hard I was on me, and there was no need for that.
What was I going to say there?
Yeah, we've just blown you away, Ciara.
I was sitting here and I'm like, there's so much I want to ask. From that there, and from the way you were feeling, we spoke about this before, Brenda had noticed that there was something in you. That's, I suppose, where you had went to the GP and all that there. There's
a lot I don't remember now. Michael probably, as he's talked before, he's seen a change in me, not as that I was anxious or depressed. Caitlin was born on the Thursday and come the Saturday. There's a change in me because now I'm responsible for life. Yeah. And this life is in front of, like, if you got a puppy, or, you know, a cat or a kitten or a fish or a bird or whatever, you know, you're responsible for that. You know, and when you have a baby, that's even massive. So because Brenda was able to come in, and we talk about in the charities in the helicopter approach, she was able to look into it, look over and above and look down at it, as Michael was in it with me in the middle of it all. So he wouldn't have noticed me slipping. Yes. But Brenda would have noticed. And so there's where.
How far down the line then did Support Together come?
There's bits I don't remember. Definitely not. And I do know for a fact the reason I went to the doctor was we did receive a talk many years back before I was a mummy. I wasn't even married at that time. We were planning to get married. And our previous boss of mine, Mia, got a health visitor in to do a half-an-hour talk. And that half-an-hour talk planted a seed with me. And that's why we're so passionate and Support Together with education. You know, how can you prevent someone from falling into ill health if they don't have the words or the knowledge of it?
So it is.
Yeah. So we, as you know, in Support Together, education and support are. So I'm not sure. It would have been a wee bit later on down the line, but I know I went to the doctor sooner. I never would have been near the doctor, because I knew I didn't like what was happening. I wanted to enjoy motherhood. I wanted it so much, but it was me that was hard on me. Yeah. I put myself under a lot of pressure that I didn't allow support in. And I mean that I wouldn't have slept. What was the point of me sleeping? The baby's going to need to be fed. So I wanted maybe that Michael father. So I did go I do remember going quite early on. And then my doctor was amazing. So that wee seed that was planted to me a couple of years before that, I ended up really, I think I'm becoming ill. Must be that postnatal depression.
And I suppose from there, and from me getting the treatment, and then with you and Brenda sitting down around the kitchen table. You realised there was no support and there was nothing out there for mummies or families suffering with postnatal depression and anxiety. And Support Together was founded.
Yeah, and trying to get the name, you know, and I think now when we look at it, couldn't imagine it being called anything else, you know, and Brenda was always, we want to make it vibrant. And we agreed on the sunflower because it's the most wonderful flower. And sunflowers grow in toxic environments. It's about how hope can come often in dark places. And that needs that seed of hope to be planted. So that's where it came. Brenda did a lot of the work at the beginning. She was passionate and was kind of disgusted but there was nothing going on, and they didn't know, my mum didn't know, and how were we able to help you if we had no knowledge? And this is a disgrace, and my God, I wasn't ready to do much. I was still in the middle of it, you know, and probably then we had Podrick, but
you were wearing your family and to go through, navigate parenting.
Yeah, so we got constituted as a charity and stuff like that, and then contacted. We did, I suppose, environmental scan. I didn't have the word for that then, but now what is in the area, there was nothing. And there's where that first seed was planted, and it was Brenda who really encouraged and championed that on at the beginning.
Yeah.
And now look what we've turned into.
Look at what we have.
Yeah, and we have Caitlin Mary sitting opposite us.
This is Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, and we couldn't bring the podcast to you today without the support of Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health. Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health is a private pregnancy, ultrasound and complementary therapy facility. Their mission is to provide a more holistic approach during your pregnancy. Visit clarityoma.com.
Support Together. Caitlin, what does it mean to you?
It's a thing that's always been in my life. Like, I'm thinking about all the things I've done since I've been in primary school. I remember we did like a wax thing, and had posters of it in the back of your cupboard, and I put them in the back of the boot to show off to everyone.
Yeah, she wouldn't. I just think my pain, the posters.
I remember I wanted to go, but like
You're too young.
Yeah, couldn't have went to that. And I don't know, she's always been in my life. Like, the pink's changed. The pink was more ready probably then, wasn't it? What do you say? It wasn't that the pink.
No, it was always pink, but probably we didn't have the knowledge.
We cards. We started. Yeah. To have those all over the house, and then the wee leaflets you had. They were always in the boot of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember seeing them. Not maybe if we went to ever like a Sure Start whenever you worked there, she would have been there.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like my mum's.
Just like sometimes I would have went out and helped you with like 5Ks. Like, there's been so
you did. She just came and helped me with stalls and stuff where they were promotion. You and Podrick, you wanted to.
We did the crafts for the 5K, and there's pictures.
Yeah, Caitlin was a part of that. Even when Caitlin was much younger than that, in early primary school, when we were doing the gatherings, and that would have been maybe the first Thursday of the month or something. So I would have been at work and then come home and get them sorted, and I'd go out. Caitlin would write me wee notes. And hang them up on the door, and then have me
the kettle and like a wee tea bag sign, like make yourself a cup of tea.
And then she would ask me the next day, Mummy, how was all the mummies? Are they all doing okay? So she was always intrigued of what we were doing, and when I could take her, I would take her.
Was I ever like, you know, whenever you were Bob and Bert's now, what was that called?
Yeah, and there would have been where Tim had the church.
The church. Would I ever helped you to move the sofas? I have a vision of moving a brown sofa. Or was that for the 5K registration?
5K registration. The crafts.
Ciara, I remember someone bringing a cake that was like a...
Yeah, that was a part of that, yeah. That's right. So anything we would have done, like from a young age, Caitlin was always involved and wanted to be, and always knew what it was. And I can always remember coming home from school in first year, and there was big talk about some mummy in England, a very sad story of her killing herself and her baby. And the girls at school were all like, that was terrible, and how dare that mummy do that, and which I can understand from that point of view.
I'm not.
But how was that, you know? And because Caitlin has grown up with the knowledge of how ill you can become, like postnatal depression doesn't mess about, like it takes lives.
Like, she has experience of it, because not in terms of you don't remember your mum being unwell, but you with Sporty being part of the house, you talking to your mummy and having open conversations, you understand that actually this is not just feeling a wee bit down. This can go to the extreme.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, you know, what wasn't Caitlin's. It's not my illness doesn't belong to Caitlin. It happened, and I wore myself to the ground. But I can remember that conversation. Caitlin coming home and Mummy, the girls were, and I just turned around and goes, "Do you know that Mummy's was very, very ill to do that?" And I was like, Wow.
in first year.
That mummy was very mentally unwell. And I was like, oh my word, I'm blown away.
It's kind of the same with Daddy. Like, he has physical health issues.
Yeah.
I'm educated on that. So some people might not know anything about that having Crohn's. So they might be like, have stigma around it, or like false thoughts. But it's the same as your mental health. So if you don't talk about it, it's going to be actually worse, because people are more like, oh, if you have a physical energy, more like sympathetic. Nowadays, probably we're maybe not equally, but we're getting there. But I feel like that's why you need to talk about the physical and the mental.
I just all large.
Yeah, the mental will come over you more.
Yeah. Well, when you're physically unwell, it will affect your mental well-being. If you're mentally unwell, it's going to affect your physical well-being. It's all in your body. You're carrying that. And like, we would have talked a lot about mental well-being, mental ill health, and mental health. And that's how people can become mentally unwell.
But I suppose the main point here is that it was never hid in your house.
No, and that's something, I suppose, because we the Support Together group.
People in they call the idea place, so you get the sketches for your leaflets.
Oh, I design.
Yeah, I designed. Getting it. I remember seeing the step by step of it and thinking it was freaking class. I wanted to sketch myself of it. I wanted to. I remember that. Just remembering going down to the industrial estate and waiting in the car after primary school for about how long. And some days you'd bring me in, and I couldn't. Obviously, I remember waiting in the car for things like that.
That might have been planting the seed there. That was fun with it.
And Mary now, she's done creative media. It was the tale of PND when we were devising that. So you always were excited. You always wanted to know, and always would have said, "How's the mummies?" Now I wouldn't have sat and goes, "Oh, that mummy there and that mummy there," because it's confidential. But Caitlin knew, suppose we talked openly in our home about.
You realise that? Oh, I need to talk to my daughter with this, because there obviously would have been a point of you being like, "Oh, maybe she just hide it. She's too young."
That's actually a very good question, Caitlin.
I suppose because we were doing Support Together, and you would have asked me, "Mummy,
where you going there?
Mummy, what's that? And what is that you're doing in the pink sunflower?"
Thoughts of maybe just leave it.
No, I think Dad trusted me in the conversation, and it was so. When at a young age, I would have said, "Look, Caitlin, Mummy was unwell after your births, and I couldn't function right for a while, and we've realised there was no awareness, and we need to raise more awareness to help other mummies, and you took that on as you got older. You asked more and more questions. I can always remember the conversation in our house, and Podrick going, "Well, why did you not have it with me then? Why couldn't you have it with her?" And I was definitely anxious after Podrick, because we're building a house and everything and trying to navigate, but it wasn't. That's first having first baby and how consumed. But no, we just, I suppose it became
a norm.
It's a conversation, because I know with Michael, he had Crohn's disease. We met at I was 20. Michael became really, really ill within the year of us meeting, and he had Crohn's disease, and he wouldn't talk about that. Nobody really would have known much, or he wouldn't have wanted to know over the years, and I didn't think that served him well by keeping it a secret. And we always talk about being emotionally intelligent, and that's something. I'm dyslexic, so otherwise I'm not great with my pen and my paper, but emotionally in tune. And I thought, well, it's important the kids know. Yeah. Because if I made it shameful or kept saying that I was such a bad person, I had postnatal and I wasn't been able to do this to you, and I am feeding the illness, I'm giving the illness, so right, Kim.
Giving it power?
Giving the illness much, much power. And I'm then, I had to forgive myself. I believe I put myself in that position of becoming mentally unwell because I wouldn't allow help in.
But then you were dead. Well, you had a seed planted.
Yeah.
But you weren't 100%.
No, and around me. She looked around me and there's nobody and talking about it openly. So, no, I get that. But I've had to forgive myself because at a stage I was so hard on myself. You know, when I go, oh my gosh, I should have been better. And Caitlin was so well looked after. That well looked after that I wasn't looked after because I didn't see myself worthy. Yeah. So, and I remember the christening, standing there and there was no lights on. You look at the photo of me, I'm dead behind the eyes because I'm pure, I'm existing.
Just existing.
Just existing. And the love for Caitlin was buried that deep because of the anxiety and all was on top of that. You know, you couldn't enjoy that moment. And I can remember then, you know, getting that help from the doctor and starting to understand that this is an illness and starting then to enjoy and start singing around the house. And I'd have been singing with her and playing with her and doing everything. I always did, but I was doing it because I had to. Now you wanted that. I wanted to. And I could see the difference it was making. And I'd been chatting away to her. And then, you know, and when I went to work, I'd come home and find out how she got on. Like, my anxiety was really, really strong. Like, I was anxious to leave Caitlin with anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, Michael, at the beginning I would have been. But Michael minded Caitlin when I went back to work because he was unwell that time. So it was lovely, but him and her had wild crack. And then I come home going,
I've missed out.
You know, and then I'd be going potato printing and doing everything and I got for it. Because I felt, and that again, freaking yet again, guilt, like, consumed with guilt. So I don't remember specific when I decided I was going to tell you. But the stuff was in the house. You asked the question, and I didn't go, oh, here, don't worry about it. Sure, we'll talk about it now. I spoke honest truth in the language that you'd understand at a young age, and then that language developed.
And that's really stood to you, I think, Caitlin, as a young lady. The emotional intelligence that she has. She has a very wise head on your own shoulders.
There's a burden.
It is a burden. Yes, it definitely is a burden.
I know.
Do you find, does it scare you, the thought of a future motherhood, or
For who?
for you?
Oh, I don't want to that.
Too far away yet?
That's something I want. Like, no, if you're all about, like, you think I'm going to become unwell because my mum was? No, I don't think so. Because education, no, I'll know if I need help. I'll go to somebody. I know there is a local charity. It's my mother. It's Ciara. It's Shama. So I don't think so. But I can't say for sure because I'm 18. So I don't want to think about motherhood.
So it's not putting you off in terms of you.
Oh, no, the experience. I know what you mean. I can like sometimes,
No, like, you know, realistically, you know, there's unrealistic expectations of him.
It's not like the movies.
No.
The amount of people I hear that be like, oh, the baby came out and your daddy. I'm like, come on, that doesn't happen. Like, of course, your emotions are going to be high and down and of course, that makes total sense. Why is the media portraying it that way? The media portrays everything in a certain way, and it's
fake news, isn't it? And they're selling a product, aren't they often?
Exactly.
So you're realistic, and no, you're happy. No, I'm happy enough. No grandchildren yet, please. Park that for a wee while. But suppose a question from my point of view, being the mummy. Are you ashamed of your mum?
No. I mean, like, growing parts of her mum. My mum takes videos of me when I'm up at a university open day. Like, of course I'm going to be embarrassed. Like, no,
You did. Like, it's like a video.
It's all about it. I long so proud of the milestone she's going through.
I know she is. But I'm not embarrassed of sport together. If anything, I walk past that building and I'm constantly like, that's when. You know what I mean? If I see people, like, no, I'm not embarrassed. But yeah, I'm embarrassed my mum, as everyone's embarrassed of their mother. But also, she's one of my, like, a close friend, even though she's my mum. But she still is. Like, she's who I always go to.
So depression, when you hear the word depression or anxiety,
it doesn't scare me with something most people go through it. Everybody's probably went through it, whether they know it or not.
And why do you think that is?
Because life can be shit and life can be great. That's why.
We all
go through stuff. How can one person be like a robot and just like,
you can't be flat?
I know you're going to burn out and you're going to go up, but then you're going to go down again. Maybe you don't. That's life.
So
that's how you deal with it, and how do you like, okay, this is a pattern of mine. What do I do to like make me happy? Like, as you say, fill your cup up. Yeah. What can I do to like prevent that happening? Stuff like that.
Join us next week for part 2 of our talk. This was Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, with me, Mrs. O, Ciara O'Gowan, my co-hosts Una Leonard and Gemma Casty. Brought to you today by Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health, and produced by 9874 Creative.